Hey guys, welcome back to an episode by BW2, where today we will be breaking down why the first Disney Plus original entry to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, WandaVision, is groundbreaking and will more than likely boost most of the involved actors and actresses' careers even further than they already are. Now, I already go on and on about how much of a Marvel fanboy I am and would love to do the same here, expressing my excitement for all of the new stuff introduced into our beloved live-action universe, but that is not what today's video is about. Instead, it is created and structured how it is nearly a new genre every single episode. Now, most of you know the show, mainly the first 7 episodes specifically, are structured around sitcoms from that decade, episode 1 being 50s, 2 being 60s, 3 being 70s, 5 being 80s/90s, 6 being early 2000s, and 7 being the 2010s to present day. Episode 4 was kind of a catch-up, fill-you-in type episode, where we will take a break from the sitcom style and fully go back to real life outside of the Westview anomaly. And we see a chilling scene of more people returning from the blip, including Monica Rambeau, returning only to find out her mother, Maria Rambeau, passed away from cancer while she was gone, even though she was technically sitting right by her side the whole time. Of course, we also get introduced to SWORD, how it was founded, who they are, and what they do. And we also get their point of view of the drone being sent in. Jimmy Woo reaching out to Wanda over the radio.
Who's doing the C?
I'm here to help.
Pop quiz, Wanda. How does a housewife get a blood?
The agent in the hazmat suit crawling through the sewer only to come out as a beekeeper. And be mysteriously written out of the show by Wanda simply saying no, as well as the full confrontation between Wanda and Monica, ultimately making Wanda banish her from Westview.
You to leave.
But anyway, I feel like the way this whole miniseries is shot is just so insanely well done and lovable. Tony Stark / Iron Man has always been and always will be my favorite character in the MCU. I saw the first movie with my dad and grandpa when he came to town, all the way back in 2008. Always got the most hype for new Iron Man content, and I'm also just really into tech, cars, his personality, and his character arc. But as far as alive characters go, it's definitely Scarlet Witch. She's insanely powerful, while not being a Mary Sue like Captain Marvel and Rey, for example. But she also has a great backstory, and at this point, so much character development and personality. Plus, she's also portrayed by Elizabeth Olsen, who is, in my opinion, probably the most lovable and down-to-earth actress in the MCU.
And then Thanos is like, give me the Infinity Gauntlet. And Scarlet Witch is like, I don't think so.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Tell me you did not just ruin the ending of Infinity War.
No, because everyone dies.
Lizzie!
I thought everyone knew that.
There's this character, Scarlet Witch, that I'm interested in for you to play. And then he said, and when you go home and Google her, just know that you will never, ever have to wear what she wears in the comics.
This is sort of a basic Scarlet Witch right there.
Yeah.
And that probably made you
Yeah.
fairly happy.
Yeah, because, you know, I did ballet growing up, but that's not a confident look.
No.
I think the skill I'm most proud of is being really nurturing to my friends.
That's so
It would
sweet.
be something along those lines. I'm kind of like a mommy to them, I think. Not like I'm talked down to them, but I like taking care of everyone. Yeah. I miss them.
Incredible, isn't it? Hello, boo. How are you? I'm good. You look beautiful. Thank you. How you doing? I'm good. Your eyes are green. They're green. I just realized that.
They are.
I love it.
Married, and all that lovey-dovey stuff that happens between a mutant and the android of her dreams. September of 1979. I like making bread, but I was like annoyed that everyone was making bread for some reason, so I started making mayonnaise. totally fine. You know, another thing that's fun during quarantine is cleaning all the fucking time.
But anyway, we also of course get so much more built on top of Vision as well as their relationship, which kind of started abruptly in Captain America Civil War over Paprika. But now these two are without a doubt the best duo in the MCU, even after Vision died and died again. And died again. And now kind of died again.
So long, darling.
And may I just say, this is easily the most heart-wrenching MCU death besides Iron Man, especially with Vision saying, "Who knows what I'll be next," and also the quote, "We've said goodbye before, so it stands to reason," with Wanda replying, "We'll say hello again."
We have said goodbye before, so it stands to reason.
We'll say hello again.
But anyway, I could go on and on, so let me just say, I think all the characters in this miniseries were great. Pre-existing ones were just massively built upon, and new ones were great, like Billy and Tommy, aka Wiccan and Speed, Agnes, aka Agatha Harkness, especially with that beautiful, chilling reveal, an absolute bop of a theme song. Pietro Maximoff, aka Quicksilver, returning, but this time as the Evan Peters version instead of Aaron Taylor Johnson, even though as of right now he was literally a multiple episode setup to a joke. Quote, Luke Skywalker level cameo by Elizabeth Olsen, and Paul Bettany's an actor I've always wanted to work with, and we had such great fireworks together, such great chemistry, literally being himself, but also Monica Rambeau, now grown up from her first appearance as Maria's daughter in Captain Marvel, and now with newfound powers thanks to multiple pass-throughs of Wanda's energy, making her photon/spectrum. But anyway, on to the main point on why this show is so great and groundbreaking. It is not just another superhero film/show, it is an eerily cryptic mystery about dealing with grief. Wanda has been through so much, losing her parents in a bombing, waiting days with her brother for another bomb to go off that never even did thanks to her probability bending power, losing her brother to Ultron,
Didn't see that coming.
losing Vision, again multiple times, and now being past her breaking point, going to visit Vision's remains at the Sword HQ, only to literally have her heart break, creating a perfect life for them on the Foundation in Westview to give them what they wanted most, time.
We are out of time.
And not to mention each episode's little commercials subtly hinting at Wanda's biggest past traumas. And what I don't think many realize is how everyone involved fully changes and adapts to every single episode. Meaning each episode we have completely new acting styles, set design, cinematography techniques, aspect ratios, colors, and even more. And in later episodes, characters go in and out of Westview, literally completely changing their performance and then snapping right back to it. And acting like an actor/actress in a whole separate era every single episode is just crazy and impressive. Everyone, especially Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, not only rock their roles better than ever, but work so well together and as themselves throughout the eras and even more serious parts when they're not even in their Westview character. Not to mention Wanda's Sokovian accent returning outside of Westview after it pretty much just disappeared after Captain America Civil War, but then right back to it when she goes back in. It just displays how most of the people in this show are crazy talented and versatile. Not something I've really seen before. But not only the acting, as mentioned, each episode is also based off of an existing show, or a few, with the first episode or two being based off of shows like Bewitched and The Dick Van Dyke Show, the 80s episode being based off of shows like Full House, 2000s off of Malcolm in the Middle, or 2010's episode being shows like The Office and The Modern Family, and so on. Each episode has its own perfect little intros, heavily inspired by the show or shows that episode is based on, Because as we see in episode 8, through every major trauma in Wanda's life, the bombings, the experimenting, the house arrest, etc., there was always one thing that helped her through it: TV sitcoms. And there was even a reference to The Wizard of Oz in episode 9. And of course, at the end of episode 2, it switches from black and white to color, and from the 4:3 aspect ratio of the older eras to the 16:9 in newer eras, as well as the regular life outside of the anomaly scenes. We even get laugh tracks in some of the eras, thankfully with characters blatantly making fun of them, cause they're dumb, as well as breaking the fourth wall in episode 6 to fit in with the Malcolm in the Middle theme, and talking to the camera in episode 7, since it's inspired by shows like Modern Family and The Office. The episode is literally called Breaking the Fourth Wall. But they even go as far as using a multiple camera setup, often used in sitcoms and earlier filmmaking, where a few cameras were used to get the different angles of the set they were filming with, usually kind of wheeling around one of the cameras to get different shots. But all of a sudden that would go away when Vision's boss starts choking. His wife, being trapped and controlled, can only repeatedly say "stop it," and Wanda, getting kinda scared, sternly asks Vision to help him, and it lets us know the filming style just changed and is out of the ordinary. This right here is your first peek at something weird, that there's some sort of error in the anomaly. And we'll get back to the situation a little later. Also, let's not forget to mention how many storylines from the comics this show touches on. House of M, Agatha Harkness's Witch arc, kind of kicking off the Young Avengers, the origin of Photon/Spectrum, Spectral Vision, the Darkhold, Wanda's official comic-accurate costume, and much more. But also that it officially kicked off the mutants ever since Disney Marvel got the rights back to the Fox Marvel characters and stories. But it did suck at first because people were giving low ratings and bashing the show after those first 2 episodes because they just thought it was some experiment by Marvel to make some quirky play on black and white sitcoms. But if you're a true Marvel fan, I know you, like me, loved every last second of this show. Not only because of how impressive and exciting everything about it was, but even because early on you knew that something was going on and it was going to pick up real fast. Also, I've never seen anyone else mention it, but when Wanda was driving through Westview on episode 8 and she drove by Mrs. Hart, she was sitting alone at a table with dishes for her, and she looked kinda sad or lonely, and when it goes back to Wanda, she looks almost ashamed. So I was thinking, what if Mr. Hart actually did die in real life, and that scene all the way back in episode 1 was really just making her live through his death again, led by, of course, Agatha Harkness, since she likes to make people deal with their grief over and over again. I don't know, let me know what you guys think, just thought it was interesting. But yeah, guys, I would love to talk about WandaVision even more, but I have gotten through everything that I wanted to touch on in this video specifically, but please feel free to have further conversation in the comments on this video, or even on my Twitter and Instagram, both being at bwood102301, or the links in the descriptions of every video. I think this was a fantastic start to the MCU on Disney+, Phase 4 of the MCU, and I cannot wait to see where it goes from here. Especially Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, as it will be carrying on the storyline from WandaVision, and with characters such as Wanda, Strange, supposedly Spider-Man, and probably Mordo too. But also, Agatha told Wanda not to lock her back as her nosy neighbor character because she would need her for what she has done, and she replies, "If I do, I know where to find you." So I'm guessing she will probably go back and get her for help, or an anti-hero kind of character in the film. But this will be it for now. Please make sure to like and subscribe, as this video has literally been in the works for weeks, and thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all later.